Merry meet and welcome to Lex Dragon Queen Magic. I'm Taylor and today is our Divine Feminine Collective reading. So whether you're here to balance out your own energies or if you're here to check into a twin flame connection, there definitely is going to be a message for you here today. With that, let's go ahead and get started. And so to start us off right off the bat, we do have Rabaya, the Queen of Saintly Women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. And so something really fantastic about her is that she was always just very committed into wanting to be of service to spirit and to Allah, to be very specific. And she took that energy even when she was sold into slavery, and she maintained her faith and just constantly prayed to be able to be released and move forward into a position where she would not be able to worry about worldly concerns and instead focus upon the love that she had within her heart. And so with her comes the question of, are you motivated by love, or what are you motivated by right now? And instead to find how you can be motivated by love more thoroughly, because right now you are being called to understand exactly what your heart is wanting from you, especially within a divine sense. So if you have been feeling a little bit lackluster, if you have not been feeling very motivated in this world right now, or if fear has been motivating you, it is now time to change that motivation and look for the love instead, and where the light exists within your life, because through that is where you will find your freedom. Through that is where you will find your sense of self again. And so jumping into the tarot right after that, we do have the King of Wands coming out. And so the King of Wands is someone who knows, sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself, because also something that's coming through is the fact that this is the energy of the twin flame coming through, because there is a message here that as you motivate yourself through love, you are going to find this King of Wands energy receiving you. And so if you have been struggling with the divine masculine lately, then this is, or even a distorted masculine, then this is pushing you towards finding that light, because it's going to bring you into a greater space where you are seeing the King of Wands, someone who is manifesting their dreams and wants. And so there is a dual message here, whether you're within a twin flame or whether you're balancing your own energies, is that there is this energy of manifestation coming to you. So the King of Wands sees the whole plan. They are able to see the project from step A to step Z. I believe we talked about this previously as well in regards to the divine masculine, that you're starting to be able to see the steps as they come rather than focusing on just Z. But now you're able to take that energy and you are able to see the whole plan, but you're also able to zero in on the step that you are currently at. And so simply, if you have been feeling lost, this is your message that you are going to be feeling a lot more found in regards to what you want out of this world, out of this life. And so yes, we have the Two of Swords coming out in addition to that. So this is telling us that there is some indecision in your life right now, that you are focusing too much on your head space versus your heart space. And really what's going to happen if you do not make a decision is that your heart space is going to win out, because that is simply how your soul is. So if you connect and align more with what your heart truly is asking of you, you're going to be able to make your decisions. You're going to become more decisive. And the two comes after the ace, and so you are simply just stuck on one step, but you will find yourself going into that next step. Do not worry that you will make a wrong decision, because this is a moment where you are simply able to follow through on what feels best for you. And that's another statement that really coming through, is what feels best for you. Don't focus on those around you. Focus instead on yourself and what it means for you to move forward. It is simply about you and your mission within spirit is what's coming through. So if you have been struggling, this is your time to recognize just how strong and powerful you are, how much you truly can manifest exactly what you're wanting. Simply pray for it is another message coming through. So if you have not been asking for what you truly want out of this life, this is time to speak up in regards to those around you. Let them know that you are passionate about something. Let them know that you do know what you want within this life, and you may be shocked at how quickly you receive it. And then lastly, we do have the Ace of Swords coming out. So exactly. So ask for what you want and you will start seeing that you are able to take those steps forward, and you are going to see this creative idea bloom within you and within your plans. So it may seem so simple and small right now, but if you start asking for those small things, if you start making decisions that makes sense for you, you're going to start seeing how it starts to make sense within the world outside of yourself, and others will start to recognize. So you are not necessarily this Ace of Swords, really you're bringing this Ace of Swords to others, because you take the sword that makes the sense to you and you move forward with that singular sword. You are then picking up on the passion that you have, and you're able to put forward an idea that others respond to, is a big message coming through. So if you have been struggling lately, it is time to just take a zoomed in focus on what you have been struggling on and get to the heart of the matter, and you will find yourself being relieved in regards to that decision. You will find yourself feeling inspired again. You will feel logical again. If right now a lot of the world doesn't make sense to you, this is a message saying that it will start to make sense again to you soon. You are this manifester. And in regards to a twin flame connection, just understand too that if right now you don't understand maybe where your partner is coming from, there is a sense of compromise coming here. And so there is a need to take a step back and understand where they're coming from and see exactly where their heart space is. And another big message here, especially for everyone here, is to connect with that divine source and simply ask for what you want, and you will receive the information you need. So it is asking you to be consistent with your wants and desires and to recognize exactly what you have wanted for so long, and you may have gotten lost, but now it's time to rein it back in and come back to that heart space. Okay, and then we have a couple Pegasus coming out for us. So we do have the Pegasus Oracle coming out for us. 26 or 8. 8 also is the number of strength and patience. And so something that is big for this is going towards the North Star. So again, what are you seeking? Where is the alignment that you are wishing to be? This is Spirit's reminder that there is external energy around you that is helping you move towards that energy. So it may seem very subtle and gentle right now. That is why it's asking you to take it one step at a time. This is a message for both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine from this week, is to take it one step at a time. The Divine Masculine was seeing a lot of external energy coming through. The Divine Feminine is seeing a lot of internal energy come through. So if you're balancing your own energies too, understand that there is a lot of change happening within and outside of you. And so it is time to just simply process and recognize that this is gentle alignment. It is not meant to be so severe that you question everything around you. It is meant for you to just find your focus again. So again, big message on just simply focusing on what you want and then directing yourself towards that want. So what has been your dream? What started this process for you? Why did you get lost? And again, what has been motivating you? Is it love or is it fear? Is it money? Is it hate? Because that can also be a big motivation for people. And so understanding exactly what is pushing you towards this North Star is going to be more important for you, because if you are being pushed towards the North Star and it is not within that positive light, then it is time rather to reorient it yourself and understand exactly why you want what you want. Okay, and then we do have 23, Pegasus and the Great Mountain. And so 23 also is 5. So there is a little bit of struggle coming through, but this is the calling home card. So this is understanding that perhaps you have set yourself a very big goal of climbing up this giant mountain in order to get to this fantastical place. And Spirit is asking you to understand that wants and what it means to get to that point, because there is a big message here that there is a journey that you are on. There is a momentum that you have taken on within yourself, and this is asking you to continue forward and recognize that you are asking to be at the top of a great mountain, that you are asking for quite a bit, and so sometimes it takes a lot of little steps in order to get there, but you are still moving forward. So again, just recognizing that you are taking those steps forward. Something too coming through is within our Divine Masculine reading was the fact that we sometimes fear taking that next step, and so Spirit is saying to recognize the steps that you are taking. Sometimes too it may seem like you're taking a step down or you're losing elevation, when in reality there simply was too great of an obstacle, and this is the way that the path goes. And so releasing the fact that you are not trying to rock climb and get there as fast as possible. Instead, you are trying to move towards this destination, and sometimes that requires a little bit of detour so that you can avoid a greater obstacle and make it to this safe place a little bit better. So just like with Rabia, she was sold into slavery even though she was already favored by Spirit, and she still kept that line with Spirit, and she still prayed every day to be able to be released so that she could follow her true passion. And so just understanding that there is a detour happening around you right now. There are things that don't make sense for you. There are some obstacles that are in your path right now, but you are being guided to be moved around those to where you don't have to worry about a rock slide. You don't have to worry about slipping down the mountain. Instead, you are just simply knowingly taking certain steps that seem like you're losing elevation, but instead you will find yourself rising faster and higher once you get around this turn. Okay? And so next we do have our Rumi Oracle. And so we have 16, from nothing to everything. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. Have you been shedding your skins, your layers, your certainties? Gone are fixed identities and definite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you are releasing too much, and then perhaps you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist as you have known yourself to be thus far. Another emanation of you awaits, blazing angel, something more beautiful and true. Yet here you are at the pruning stage, like a gardener for the soul. Shall the garden spring back to life, or will the enthusiastic denuding process be rather too much and unintentionally kill off the garden altogether? Fear not. Your soul is made of hardy stuff. It can handle a lot of coaling and will shine even brighter for it. There is a greater story to be impressed upon your essence than the one you are currently dreaming of. Though you are brilliant, no doubt about it, my angel of love, there is one who is even more so. The imagination of this great writer is beyond our comprehension. The stories that pour forth from that cosmic poet in every moment are so rich they inspire the creation of art and music. One such story is especially created for you, yes, you, with a starring role in all the best supporting cast. You shall gasp in wonder, awe, glee, and delight when you hear it. It is a great romance, a great adventure with an ending truly spectacular and divine. Would you wish to hear it? Become attentive now. Put your own tales aside, as dramatic as they may seem right now, and be prepared to be entranced by the greater storyteller, the living poet of love, as you are entranced in a tale of your unfolding divine destiny. There are moments on the path of love that seem to focus on letting go of identities, of knowledge and certainty, of opinion and even attempts at control. We may feel as though we are being stripped back to our core, and even then, perhaps further still. We may wonder if we can bear it. What shall, if at all, remain intact through these rigors? We may feel challenged every time we attempt to become something great, as though we are blocked by circumstances beyond our control. Again and again it is as though a greater hand smacks our wrist the moment we try to take hold of something firmly. Someone, anything that brings us certainty or inner stability. Such are the rigors at an advanced stage on the path. We meet this challenge when our soul is ready for it. Why must it be thus? This is a sage question indeed. When we are asked to dispense with our story, the interpretations we have given to our life experiences over the years, we may not hear the request at first. We may vaguely note it, but not recognize the great divine source asking this of us. And so we do not give such an inclination due accord. We may persist with spinning our own tales instead. Oh, our mind may fancy itself to be a great wrangler of the world, impressed with its own judgments and declarations. Yet, in the light of compassion with the divine tale for our soul, all our fancies shall pass away, revealed as so very frail, like clouds dissipating in the sky. Perhaps we are graced with the realization there is so much more, or perhaps we still don't get the hint and move into struggle as we try to enact what we think our story should be. We may hit obstacle after obstacle and create even more terror in our storytelling, that life is such pain, a struggle, that success may not be for us, that we're forgotten and unheard. Yet we could equally choose to wonder if obstacle after obstacle, closed door after closed door is just a prompt to look for the open window to climb through. And if so, instead of seeking to impose our small story upon the great truth, we can live the truth of our divine destiny. Then something magical happens. We participate through presence along with the unfolding story of our soul journey. We open up to whatever is asked of us, presented to us, happening through us, as we choose each day to come alive as much as we can. Then, as if by magic, there is something else that occurs. That would be grace, real, rich, dripping with goodness and substance grace. This is the sacred blessing that enables us to pay attention to opening doors rather than closing ones. The divine assistance that lets us know our life is proceeding according to a greater intelligence and plan. Once we stop thinking quite so much and live day to day, we will be blessed with the realization that our individual life story is so much more extraordinary and perfect than anything we could have summoned, even with our wildest imagination. This oracle comes with guidance for you. You are being asked to let go, to receive, to become empty, to be filled. This may mean letting go of attachment to a lover so you can receive genuine love. It may be of no longer holding on to the fantasy of your dream job, but of being guided into your most soulful and successful vocation. It may mean letting go of your wishes for your body, your health, to be other than it is, so you can simply get on with living each day, taking steps into wellness without thinking beyond one day at a time. It is a divine paradox that when we are asked to surrender a story or fantasy, It is because reality is knocking at our door, more often than not with the delivery of what we have been fantasizing about, but in the best way for us. The human experience of this paradox is that you may feel you are giving up hope and that your fantasy is dying. It may be very painful and bring you much grief, but all that is dying is your attachment and opinion about how it must be. This needs to happen so you can stop dreaming and start living it. This is what is happening for you now. Do not fear any part of the process. Embrace it without expectation, with trust in your heart that the divine is simply guiding you from fantasy into fulfillment. Sacred honoring ritual. Place your hands in prayer and bow your head. Say aloud, I choose to trust in the great genius unfolding in my life. I give thanks for the blessings of grace now flowing into my heart. I have no need to know. I trust in the perfection of my being unfolding with innate intelligence and wisdom. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, holds me in his protection, and I accept my destiny with a peaceful and trusting heart. Please help me to surrender the stories, attachments, fantasies, and fears that have held me back from living my heart's desires fully. I now choose unconditional trust in the loving genius of life to lead me into my fulfilled destiny now. So be it. You have completed your sacred honoring ritual. So that really does sum up a little bit about what we were just talking about in recognizing, oh, there's even a mountain in this, in recognizing that you are just being asked to avoid the obstacles that you place in front of you and to instead allow yourself to feel the great new beginning that is coming for you, even if it seems as though it is something that you did not ask for. It is instead supporting you and becoming more of the person that you were meant to be. So simply realign with your heart and what makes sense with your heart, and you will find yourself releasing this energy. If you did not watch The Divine Masculine, I encourage you to watch that, because the Rumi Oracle really matches that same letting go process in order to release any negative energy from your heart space and to allow loving light energy to come through it and to fill you with hope and passion for your future. Okay, and so we do have a dream card as well. And so we have, you don't need to explain or justify what you know to be true in your heart. This is your life, your journey. Enjoy every fabulous moment. You just gotta love that. And then we do have some messages of closure. And we have, I am sorry I didn't believe you. So just right on the heels of that too, saying that you don't need to explain or justify where you're at. So especially if you have a partner who is not understanding you, or a family member who doesn't understand you, this is not the time to feel regret over that person or to change who you are, because this is a message of closure saying it is okay that they didn't believe you. They recognize that they were in the wrong for not being where you needed them to be, and instead you will be able to find support where you need it the most. Yep, right on the heels of that, please don't blame yourself. So very big messages from Spirit saying not to close yourself off just because of someone else's opinions, not to shut away that heart, especially if you have been called sensitive or emotional, but instead recognize again that you do not to explain or justify what is in your heart. You know what is true, and you know that you can align with that energy, and it will take you so much further than those who would rather hold you back. And then finally, I am learning so much from you. So again, with that, within that bravery of becoming yourself, you do inspire those around you. So I'm really getting that this is big energy from a family member. For some of you, this is going to be in regards to your twin flame, because there is a sense of separation that is happening within the twin flame for our collective. And that being said, you instead are, as you go through your heart energy, that is going to be reflected in your twin flame moment. And as you continue to be brave and move forward into a light that makes sense for you, others are going to be inspired by you, and they're not going to allow the world to hold them back either. So simply cut yourself away from any ties who want you to be less of yourself, and instead embrace those who encourage you to be more. And find that self-assurance that you need. And so here is our acts of kindness. This is always a suggestion and not a command, and typically it's just more so that you can release that energy within you. Alright, invite someone out to an event that you want to try or love. So this is really great, especially after our messages of closure, because it sounds like there is someone who would rather hold you back. And so instead, this is asking you to find something that you really want to do or something that you already love and bring that person who maybe doesn't fully understand you into that environment if they're willing to go, because they will then see literally how much you light up. This is bringing me back to our Divine Femme card, because within it, part of the reason why she's released is because through her prayer, the slave master saw her praying and how much she was literally lit within, and that there seemed to be a light, a glow around her. And that is a very similar energy that you're going to get. So those people who are holding you back will see that they have no ability to really continue holding you back, and instead will be prompted to release you, to allow you to follow that heart passion, especially for our twin flames who are possibly about to go into separation. That is needed so that your individual souls can evolve, and then you will find yourself back with each other again, so that you can release this attachment to love, so that you can find genuine love. That is your destiny, is something coming through so strong. So do not fear this process. Do not fear that you may not know what the future looks like, because Spirit is with you. Simply trust in what you know is true in your heart and move forward with grace and confidence. With that, I will go ahead and leave it here. I want to thank you for liking and subscribing. Please do not forget to comment below, and I will definitely interact with you guys, letting you know and encouraging you along your path. Blessed be my dragons, and I will see you next time.